And guess what it's time for? It's time for the number talk. So take it away, Princess Yvonne.
Number talk, number talk, number talk, number talk, number talk, number talk, number talk.
Na 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 na.
Is number talk is lots of fun in the rain or in the sun. No need for you to run. Is number talk, na 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 na.
Ba-dum-ba.
Number talk, number talk, number talk, number talk, number talk.
Thank you so much, Princess Yvonne. Fantastic job with the number talk theme song. We're going to do review. We're going to do 6 problems today, and we're going to review the problems we worked on this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So let's do with some rounding first. And remember, we're rounding to the nearest 1 or the nearest half. So let's do 2 7/8 plus 3 1/5. Okay, I want us to do mental math here. 2 7/8. Is 7/8 going to be closer to 1/2, to 3, or to 2? Well, I know it's 7/8 away from 2. It's only 1/8 away from being 3, and half of 8 is 4, so that's 4/8 would be halfway, so it's 3/8 away from being to the halfway point between 2 and 3. Let's just do a little quick number line to show this again, and follow along with me, please. So here's 2, here's 3, we're doing 8s. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8. We're at 2 7/8. So we're definitely far away from the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/8 away from the 2. We're only 1/8 away from 3, right? But what about the halfway point? Remember, 4/8 is halfway to 1 whole. 1, 2, 3, 4/8. How far away are we from that 4/8? 1, 2, 3. We're 3/8 away, so we're definitely closest to the 3. So I'm going to round 2 7/8 to 3. Okay? And let's round 3 1/5. I think you're probably going, oh yeah, I remember this lesson. I know what we're going to do. There's 3 and there's 4. We're going to break it into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So I'm at 3 1/5. I'm 1/5 away from 3. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4/5 away from 4. And when I think about the halfway point, I really don't have a half of 5, but we can kind of figure it's right around here. And there's one thing we could do to see if we're closer to the halfway point. And let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to show you what we do. I'm going to make another number line, and this is 3 and 4. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But I need an even number so I can come up with a halfway point. So let's do 10, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I was at 3 1/5, right? But that would actually be 3 2/10 now, all right? So 3 1/5 is equivalent to 3 2/10. What would halfway be? 3 5/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm 1/10, 2/10, 3/10 away from halfway, and only 2/10 away to 3. So we would round this to 3, and 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay? I wasn't too clear on that part of the lesson last time around. Let's go ahead and do another one of rounding, and then we're going to do some actual. Let's do 3 1/3 plus 6 and let's do 5/8. Make it difficult. All right. So let's look at 3 1/3 first and see if it's closer to 3, 4, or 3 1/2. 3 1/2. So we're going to start with a 3 over here, a 4 over here. Let's do thirds. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Now, I'm at 3 1/3 right here, right? So I know that I'm 2/3 away from 4, so I'm not going to round up to 4. But I'm 1/3 away from 3. Maybe I'm closer to a halfway point. But 3, we don't really have a half for, so let's turn this into 6th, okay? So 3 and 1/6, 3 and 2/6, which is equal to 3 and 1/3, 3 and 3/6, 3 and 4/6, 3 and 5/6, 4. So what's halfway to 4? It would be 3/6, right? 1/6, 2/6, 3/6. So that's 3 and 3/6. 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6. So what are we closer to? Well, I'm only 1/6 away from being at 3 and 1/2, right? And I'm 2/6 away from being at 3. So I'm going to change this to 3 and 1/2. All right, let's look at 6 and 5/8. What am I closer to? Am I closer to 6? Am I closer to 7? Or am I closer to 6 and 1/2? Let's do a quick little number line. We don't have a lot of room, so I'm going to put it right here. And we're going to go 6 and 7. I'm going to break them into 8s. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8. 6 and 5/8. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. And what would halfway to 8 be? Well, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 6 and 1/2 are 4/8. So what are we closer to? Well, I'm at 5/8, so I'm 1, 2, 3/8 away from 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 away from 6, but only 1/8 away from 6 1/2. So this will become 6 1/2. Now I need to add these up. What's 1/2 plus 1/2? 1, right? 3 plus 6 plus 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 would be our estimate. All right? Now we're going to do some actual addition of a mixed number and a fraction. So let's get to that right away. We're going to start off with 1 and 1/4 plus 3 and 3/4. What will that equal? Remember what we did first is we add the fractions first. So let's add 1/4 and 3/4. 1/4 plus 3/4. And remember what Math Mud says, we don't add the denominator. We only add the numerators. So 4, 4, it stays 4. What do we get up here? 1 plus 3 is 4, and we have 4/4. So now we're ready to add. I cross those out. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus another 1 is 5. So our estimate would be, or excuse me, our actual answer, not our estimate, we're not rounding, is 5. When we add 1 and 1/4 and 3 and 3/4, we get 5. Just think about this again. Let's do a quick tape diagram. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We start out with 1/4. We added 3. So we got 1 whole and we added the fractions, and we just add on another whole and 3 wholes to get 5. Alrighty, get ready to try one on your own. And we're going to try, whoops, sorry Crow, sorry Bobcat. Let's try 3 and 5/8 plus 4 and 1/8. So take a look at this. And now what I'd like you to do, help me out, Princess Yvonne. It's time to pause. So please pause and try to figure this one out on your own. And welcome back. Princess Yvonne, what's the first thing we should do? First thing do is add fractions. Yes, we got to add the fractions. So let's do 5/8 plus 1/8. Princess Yvonne, do we change the denominator? No, denominator stays same. Yes, so it remains an 8. And then we add the numerators, right? Correct. 5 plus 1 is 6, and we have 6/8. So now that I've added the fractions to get 6/8, I can just add the whole numbers. What's 3 plus 4? 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's 7 and 6/8. I hope you got that right. Okay, let's try another one. That was problem number... How many have we done already? 4? That quickly? Yeah, 4 problems. This is problem number 5. Yes, you say there are going to be 6. Yes, I said 6. So here's problem 5. Let's do 3 and 7/10 plus 2 and 5/10. And think about this. What's the problem going to be, Princess Yvonne? When you add fractions, it would be improper fraction. Yes, it will be. So go ahead and pause. And welcome back, boys and girls of room 502. Let's add 7/10 plus 5/10. And Princess Yvonne said that it would be an improper fraction, and I think she's right. I'm right. Now 10 and 10 stays the same, and now 7 plus 5.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, it's 12/10, which is greater than 1. Remember, any improper fraction is greater than 1. How can we break this down into make it a mixed number? Remember, there's a couple of ways. We could do the number bond and go 10/10. That's 1. What's left over? Well, when we go 12 minus 10 is 2, and we have 2/10. So this would equal what? 1 whole and 2/10. The other way to do it
Is division.
yes, where we go 12 divided by 10. 10 times 1 is 10. Subtract, and we have 2. The quotient, or the answer, is our, I'm going to kind of make a little equal, something like that, is our whole number. The remainder is our numerator, and the denominator does not change. So what we've done now is we've added the 7/10 and 5/10. Let's cross those out. 3 plus 2 is 5, and then we need to add on the 1 and 2/10. So now it just becomes 3 plus 2 plus 1 and 1/10. What will that equal?
3 plus 2 is 5.
Yep, but we got to add on that 1.
6.
And we got to, did I do 1/10? I meant 2/10. And then we have to add on the fraction,
Which is 2/10.
so our answer would be 6 and 2/10. All right? Let's try one more where you could pause. And we'll go with, let's try, remember we kind of did this, was kind of a little backwards. Let's do 7/8 plus 3 and 5/8. What will that equal? Go ahead and
Time to pause.
And welcome back. Remember, the first thing we need to do is add up the fractions. So we have 7/8 plus 5/8. The denominator
Does not change.
yeah. What do we do with the numerators?
Add them up.
You want to add them for us?
Yes, 7 we start with, and we add on 5. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yep. So we have 12/8. I've added the fractions now. I'm going to kind of just cross those off. So it's going to be 3 plus 12/8. But we need to make that into a mixed number so we can figure out what's what. Let's do number bonds. 8/8 equals 1. And the 12 minus 8, we have 4/8 to go. So we'd have 4/8 here.
Which is the same as half.
Yes, 4/8 is the same as half. So this would equal 1 and 4/8. So now all we have left to do is 3 plus 1 and 4/8. And your final answer should have been 4 and 4/8. And I hope you enjoyed.
The number talk
Have a good weekend, everybody. I'll see you Tuesday. Remember, Monday
is a holiday.
Yeah, so check your social studies lessons to see
What the holiday
is all about. Thank you, Princess Yvonne, for all your help with the
number talk.